Hello everyone, this is Skarzig, and welcome back to the next episode of Duelyst. Today I am playing Vetruvian, and it took me a couple days of testing to figure out if there was really anything that would work with this faction, and this is what I came up with. We've got 3 Siphon Energy, 3 Scion's First Wish, 2 Cosmic Flesh, 3 Dunecasters, 2 Healing Mystics, 3 Primus Fist, 3 Rasha's Curse, 3 Staff of Akir, 3 Orb Weavers, 3 Sand Howlers, 2 Sion's Third Wish, 3 Emerald Rejuvenators, 2 Silhouette Tracers, 2 Star's Fury, and 2 Aymara Healers. The main win condition of this deck is to buff a Sand Howler into an incredible monster, and because it's not affected by spells, it's something that your opponent is going to have a really hard time dealing with. And if the game drags late, then Aymara Healer can usually provide us with a bit of late game sustain. Do I want to keep this Dunecaster? Yeah, I think that is correct, because I can just summon the Primus Fist turn 1. And that gives me a higher chance of getting something to combo with those. There's a Sand Howler. Okay, we're in business. A 3/3 for 3 that can't be targeted by enemy spells. So he's going to get the Dream Opening, Wraithling Swarm to get 2 mana, and then he can summon Gloom Chaser. Okay, he's going to use Demonic Lore instead to take out my Primus Fist. Yeah, I go up to 3. I can get up to 4 this turn. Letting my opponent get that mana doesn't feel correct. But if I go, I can't summon. If I summon the Sand Howler here, then it will just die for free. So I think the correct answer is just to summon it up here out of the way, and then just go for it. Because even if I go Dunecaster, Cosmic Flesh, that's still a really weak play. And next turn, I can't go, Me summoning the Sand Howler here is basically me hoping for a third wish. If I had one in hand, I'd feel a lot more comfortable making that play. So I think we are going to go for this. It makes this thing pretty tanky, trades into a couple of Wraithlings. And there's the third wish, so I did make the wrong choice there. If I would have just summoned the Sand Howler here, that sets me up for third wish. But this way he trades the Wraithlings in. Blood Moon Priestess. Okay. Okay, so Orb Weaver, okay. That gives me 2 possible bodies. Alright, so now he's got the engine going. He made the mistake of leaving everything important on this line, though. So all in all, that actually wasn't a very bad turn for me. I can go Third Wish Dunecaster and buff the mess out of this thing. But I think Third Wish here, Dunecaster onto this one is actually the correct play. Now, that's simultaneous, so none of their effects proc. All three of them die at the same time. Yeah, and, Dunecaster here to get some damage in. Yeah, so Third Wish is it's not extremely. It's really, really hard to get to go off, but it's still as strong as ever if you can get it to go off. And my opponent didn't play around Third Wish properly, because he had a chance to move the Blood Moon Priestess and he decided not to. Alright, so buffed Wraithlings. Takes out the Dunecaster. Oh, pretty good. He gets some damage off on the Orb Weaver. Alright, cool. Very well placed Primus Fist there. Alright, cool. So, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. Into Cosmic Flesh. Now, he can Ritual Banishing this, of course. But at the very least, we get our heal off and we put a threat on the board. We're getting our opponent into range now to finish him off with Star's Fury. Because this is Abyssian Swarm, it increases the chance that I'll have more Dervishes spawned with Star's Fury to finish him off. That's one of the key plays of this deck as well, is Star's Fury finisher. Definitely not as strong as it used to be, but it also comes in handy for evening out the board. Spectral Revenant, okay. Unfortunately, that leaves it alive with 1 HP. Okay, so I think that he forgot it was buffed and was just going to one-shot it to flip the board, but he decided not to get hit in the face. GG. That stinks. That was probably... I'm wondering if that's was my opponent's only play. If he didn't have like a Ritual Banishing or something. Then...
Vetruvian versus
oh well.
Vanar.
But we got Vanar on deck. Switch all three of those out. Oh man. Okay, so that's all of our late game. We'll change out one of the healers, of course. Vanar has always had a favorable matchup versus Vetruvian because they have such good... Well, even before they had their Dispel, it was still pretty good matchup. Just because of Hailstone Prison. Really punishes on-curve plays. And because Vetruvian wants to play more defensive, Hailstone Prison was usually very punishing when it was used against them like that, so... Crystal Cloaker. Double 2-drop? Okay, Pulverizer. Take that. Okay, so... I can attack, Orb Weaver into Scion's First Wish. So, we're gonna go that route. And... Aymara Healer, welcome back to the party. I don't need you though. Okay. So the reason I cast Scion's First Wish on this one is, of course, so it can survive. It's out of range of both the General and the Crystal Cloaker. Okay. So he's just going to make this really big. Which I don't really mind, I just need to pull a Siphon Energy. So pretty big burst while he had the chance. So good on him for that. Let's see. I can trade the Borean Bear. I can trade the Orb Weaver into the Crystal Cloaker and then Rasha's Curse in order to take out the Crystal Cloaker, and then the Orb Weaver can come around to take out the Borean Bear with the Third Wish. The only problem is that anything I put Third Wish on is very, very vulnerable to removal. So I think my best play would be to buy Orb Weaver. That gives me 2 more, and then Primus Fist allows these to trade. So we'll do that. Alright, that's looking good. Now, do I want to keep this Rasha's Curse? Yeah, you never know when you'll need 2 damage. So, I've got 3 Third Wish targets here, which is pretty nice. Rust Crawler. Okay. So. I think I actually want to hold this second Third Wish. Second Third Wish. Don't need Rasha's Curse, looks like. Or do I? Silhouette Tracer, I think, is the weak link. Sand Howler. Okay. Cool. So, what we'll do is summon the Sand Howler on the center tile here. And that makes things a lot better for me overall. Because it's unaffected by spells, it's a lot harder for Banar to deal with it. And because I have him on the center row here, that gives him vertical access to every single row on the map for Blast. He knows what's coming. He has to figure out a way to get around here to kill it. At 6 mana, he'd have to come over and Snow Chaser into Dancing Blades, or Saberspine Tiger would work. Alright, so I get my Blast off. I'm at 6, so I can do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Dang. Let's see what we can get. Staff of Vakir. Okay. Six. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, he still gets left with 2 either way, so. Did I miss lethal? Hang on a second. I hit him with 6, 12, 13, 14. If I would have hit him with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No. Yeah, because this was a +3 hit, and this was just +2, so never mind. Because I was at 6 mana, I wouldn't have been able to really pull anything else off. So I think I win this one. That's the thing. You get that Sand Howler set up with a buff on it, it's extremely hard for your opponent to deal with it. Outside of Chromatic Cold, of course. Because that targets the space and not the creature, so got a bit lucky there. My opponent didn't have any removal to set me behind. So that's what I've kind of come up with. It's obviously putting all of your eggs into one basket like that is definitely going to be not as consistent as probably Vetruvian players are used to. But I mean, again, Third Wish is still as strong as ever. It still offers the same amount of power, but you just can't use it as consistently. I think I don't need Staff of Akir versus Abyssian. That's for sure. So I'll just keep the Emerald Rejuvenator. The 4/4 and you play it on curve, so. Double Gloom Chaser. Okay. So don't need Staff of Akir versus these tiny guys. And getting a 2-drop or a 3-drop here would have been magnificent. I guess we'll just go this route. Maybe I'm not running enough 2-drops. Rasha's Curse is like half a 2-drop. Kind of lets you deal with artifacts, especially if you're up against Arclight Regalia, Cyclone Mask, etc., etc. So it really does come in handy. And with Third Wish, you can do Rasha's Curse and then just have basically a 5 damage blast clear a row for you, and then it just disappears. So having it on a Sand Howler is really good to have it stick around, but if things get desperate, you can definitely have that combination come out to keep you from falling behind on the board. For 5 mana though, Star's Fury usually gets the job done. Oh really? It's like that? Staff of Akir, which I don't need. Let's see. And wasting that combo it's like a huge waste. I can't even use that combo. I'm only at 4 mana. So what I'm gonna do is Rasha's Curse. Kill that. So that I can hit this with Siphon Energy and slay it. Staff of Akir is pointless because the Wraithlings would just break it. So I'm just gonna Healing Mystic. So Staff of Akir comes in handy when you're clearing your opponent's early minions, especially like versus Lionar. Just getting in there and brawling it up to keep your opponent from swarming you. Or, hitting face when you want. But versus Abyssian, it doesn't net as much value, so... Luckily, it does let me take out that Shadow Dancer, so... Even if I didn't equip it last round, I'm glad I kept it. Ah, so he protected the Shadow Dancer. So third wish is the weak link. Orb Weaver. And since we're really at pretty much maximum health anyway, the Shadow Dancer isn't as important for now. It's not like putting in a lot of work. Like, Shadow Dancer is really good if it's bringing you back from like 10 HP and stuff like that, or if you need the pings to take artifacts off of the enemy Songhai General. But right now it's more of a nuisance than anything, and it's allowing me to set up on him. What I would like is a Dunecaster, so I can make the Rasha's Curse Dervish permanent before I buff it. But Aymara Healer would be good next turn, even if he hits it with a Ritual Banishing, or unlikely a Dark Transformation. Its ability will still proc for me. Next turn, I'll probably just equip the Staff of Akir to kill the Shadow Dancer myself. Dang. Primus Fist. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take this kill while we got it. And don't need Staff of Akir. Orb Weaver. Playing Aymara Healer, then backing off might be proper. But if he has another Shadow Dancer, he just trades all the Wraithlings into it and completely counteracts its effect. So backing off into Orb Weaver, or backing off into Orb Weaver might actually be correct, because all of these Wraithlings spawn so far away. What if I just put the third wish on it now? I really don't want to, like, reveal my hand. I mean, he knows it's coming, but if he manages to kill both of these, then, especially with, like, again, Ritual Banishing or something, then that just wastes that spell for me. So I'm going to float 3 mana as a way to gamble for higher value next turn. We'll see what my opponent can come up with. If anything, he'll be able to rearrange his units a bit to minimize his losses. And I'm just going to start dropping Aymara Healers over and over again. Yeah. Swapping out Aymara Healer for a second, third wish would be clutch. He's got 7, so... Spectral Revenant? No, just Jaxi. Okay. Night Sorrow Assassin. Okay. Harsh. Okay. Silhouette Tracer. Now, the correct play is to do Silhouette Tracer here into... What position do I want to take? Or do I want to do... No, getting the body on the field is best. Okay. Now this here is extraordinarily risky. I'm body blocking for my Orb Weaver, but if he has, what's it called? Soul Shatter Pact, they're just going to eat me alive. Alright, so he does have Dark Transformation. That's too bad. I wonder if Aymara Healer got nerfed to 5. Would that be too strong? I think she used to be 5, right? Or I think she used to be a 6/6 for 6. I know that she's gotten nerfed, but her effect has remained the same. But they made it so her body wasn't as good. It's just that because of the health, I've been reluctant to summon her. But I think now might be the time. Oh, so much Swarm. I haven't drawn a Star's Fury yet either to try to clear this out. Another Silhouette Tracer. So that's pretty good. Oops, I wanted to go here so I could run down to get that, Dang. That's rough. Misclick. And unfortunately, none of these are really going to do much for me. And there's my Star's Fury finally. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9. I would die to a Soul Shatter Pact here, or some combination of these 3 guys and a Spectral Revenant, I think. Or if he's got some burn like Void Pulse or something. Normally, Abyssine doesn't really need to run that. But what do we got here? Shadow Dancer. So that's 2, 4, 3, 6. 3, 6. Oh, never mind. That's gained because of the Wraithlings trading over here. That's rough. Yeah, even if I took out the, even if I didn't misclick and I took out that mini Jax, would have been the same outcome. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get any of my combos off. That Swarm is really, really ridiculous. That's the one thing that you try to prevent as Vetruvian, because I've noticed that once the board like spirals out of control, they don't really have anything to come back from that besides your opponent not playing around Star's Fury, and I didn't get mine late enough. I think if I wouldn't have been so conservative with playing the Aymara Healer, I might have been able to get him to waste a few resources, but that was a lot of Wraithlings, so GG to my opponent there. And so that, I think, is a good place to leave off. We see how the deck's combo works when it does go off, and we can see the weakness that I already knew existed in the deck and I was trying to avoid, but I just couldn't stop it that game. So maybe I can make a couple more tweaks to keep that from happening, and I'll show you what I come up with next time on our next episode of Duelyst. I'll see you then, and you have a good one.